The year is 1922. The guns of the Great War have been silent for 4 years, but the echoes of their thunder still reverberate across a changed world. The armistice wasn't an end, but the beginning of a new, uncertain chapter. This is the story of that year, a time of quiet yet profound transformation, when nations and people grappled with the ghosts of the war that was supposed to end all wars. In the grand halls of power, the ink was drying on new treaties. The Ottoman Empire, once a sprawling power, had crumbled, its territories now mandates under British and French control. In the Middle East, lines were being drawn in the sand, creating new nations like Iraq, and sowing the seeds of future conflicts. In Europe, the Weimar Republic and Germany struggled under the immense weight of war reparations, a burden that fueled resentment and economic instability. The stage was being set for the political dramas that would define the rest of the 20th century. Meanwhile, in the streets of London, Paris, and Berlin, a different kind of battle was being fought. Millions of veterans returned from the trenches, but they didn't come home whole. They were the lost generation, haunted by what they had seen and done. The physical wounds were visibly amputees, became a common sight, but the mental scars ran deeper. Society didn't have a name for it then, but we now know it as post-traumatic stress disorder. These men, once celebrated as heroes, now struggled to find their place in a world that wanted to forget the war. They faced unemployment, disillusionment, and a profound sense of alienation. Their silence was deafening, a quiet testament to the immense human cost of the conflict. The war also ignited a social revolution. Women who had stepped into factories and farms to keep the home front running were not willing to simply step back. In the United States, 1922 saw women voting in their first midterm elections since the 19th Amendment was passed. The Roaring Twenties were on the horizon, a decade of flappers, jazz, and newfound freedoms. Skirts got shorter, spirits got higher, and the old social order was being challenged at every turn. It was an age of exhilarating change, a frantic dance on the edge of a volcano, as society tried to outrun the shadow of the war. Art and culture became a mirror for this fractured world. The Dadaist movement mocked logic and reason, reflecting the absurdity of the war. Surrealism delved into the subconscious, exploring the dreams and nightmares that haunted the post-war mind. Writers like T.S. Eliot, with his poem The Wasteland, published in 1922, captured the sense of spiritual emptiness and cultural decay. It was a time of radical experimentation, as artists tried to make sense of a world that no longer made sense. Technology, too, was forever altered. The war had been a catalyst for innovation. In 1922, air travel was no longer a novelty but a burgeoning industry, with regular passenger flights connecting major European cities. The radio was becoming a household item, creating a new form of mass communication that would shrink the world and shape public opinion in ways previously unimaginable. These advancements held the promise of a brighter, more connected future, a stark contrast to the recent past. So, 1922 was a year of paradoxes. It was a time of peace, yet filled with the echoes of war. A time of celebration and liberation, yet haunted by loss and trauma. It was the year the modern world began to take shape, forged in the crucible of the Great War. The decisions made, the wounds left untended, and the social shifts that began in this single year would ripple through the decades, leading to another world war and shaping the very world we live in today. The silence of 1922 wasn't empty. It was filled with the ghosts of the past and the seeds of the future. Thank you for joining us on this journey back in time. If you found this story compelling, please like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the moments that defined our history.